This is Trap Gardner
And this
saying
is
hi.
Mills Lane. And welcome to American Culture Topics. Please place your right hand over your heart as I read a little bit about America. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that
Wow.
they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So
Wow.
welcome to the program. It's based on American culture and topics that we'll see, you see as well. And we're just going to take the time to break them down. Salute to everybody that's checking in. Thanks for all the support. And we hope you enjoy the program.
Good. That was real nice there.
Yeah, so we'll first, since it's our first episode, I'm going to start off by introducing myself. I'm Mills Lane. I
And I
know
am
some of you, some Hun members. Salute to the Hun members. Salute to everybody out there in YouTube world. And with me is,
Trap Gardner.
all right, that's Trap Gardner. If you see his picture, you'll realize he looks like he gardens in a trap. Hence the name Trap Gardner.
Okay.
So if you guys do interrupt with something, if you go through the Streamlabs/Ruckus Radio and send a chat, we'll be glad to answer. So we'll get started with our first story. We tend to do three. This one is local. Then we go to a national topic. Then we go international. So we'll start with our first story. The suspect in their Israeli flag vandalism was arrested. So Philadelphia police have identified the man charged with vandalizing an Israeli flag with paint on the Ben Franklin Parkway. 26-year-old Anton Guyton, whose address is unknown, is charged with institutional vandalism, criminal mischief, and related offenses. Meantime, the blue and white flag of Israel that was damaged by red paint on Tuesday afternoon has been removed, and a new one now flies along the parkway. The incident was first discovered around 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Horrified staffers from the Jewish Federation of the Greater Philadelphia immediately ran out to 16th and Parkway after a friend called to alert them. So this event happened, I think it's the day after we heard about the killings that happened along the border between Israel and Palestine. Is that right, Trap?
Well, I wouldn't call it killings. I would call it murder, probably. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, this is a really interesting story. It really is. I found it interesting on a lot of levels. The Benjamin Franklin Parkway, the Israeli flag, this boy shooting the flag with a paint gun, and homemade paint gun, I think. And his target of choice, I got some choices I would have made, but it wouldn't have been the Israeli flag, because what they're doing over there is what they've been doing for 100 years, you know what I mean, since they got started in 1947. But I'm just, it's so reminiscent of the Cowboys and the Indians and shit. So
Okay.
the Palestinians and Indians And what you call them, the cowboys, the Israeli cowboys. They got a lot of guns over there too, man. Some people know how to shoot. But I don't want to get into the politics of it all with that incident at all, because from my point of view is, yo, dog, you got some targets right here in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? You got the Frank Rizzle statue. You know what I mean? You got Independence Hall. You can spray paint all that. You know what I mean? Uh, the Constitution is written in somebody's blood. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying it's blood on every flag?
Yeah, it is. Of course it is. And there's more blood on the American flag than any flag. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all talk a lot of stuff about the freedoms that America supposed to have, but living in Philadelphia and being around it, I see people coming up. They enjoy it. They look at, they go to Liberty Bell, Betsy Ross' house, and then you got the little slave pit down there too. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's right, Betsy Ross. Betsy Ross, who made the first, I guess the first special American flag. We have a Betsy Ross house where tourists come and they get to see how Betsy Ross was living back in the day.
Back in the day, huh? Well, looked like she was living right to me. But these people, they always holler, like about other people and shit. You know what I mean? We ain't got no business worried about what's going on in Israel and about that. I am sorry, and I really feel deeply for those people who's being shot down and killed. You know what I mean? But, the real story is, to me, is, yo, dog, you got the wrong target. That's all you got to do is tell the police and just move out. You know what? I made a mistake. That wasn't the flag I was trying to put some red paint on. You know what I mean?
He could have been putting it on because that whole Parkway area,
it's full of flags.
Familiar with it? It's like every nation's flag is on that Parkway.
Yeah, and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, you got people that I seen the dude, and I was looking at him, and I noticed the flag he had on his shirt, and it was the Vietnamese flag, right? But it was the South Vietnamese flag before they got taken over by the North. And I was like, wow. In Vietnam, if you wore that shirt, they would kill your ass. You know what I mean? How do losers get to put a flag up? You know what I'm saying?
That's American
well, I'm getting off subject. I'm getting off subject here.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Culture.
Yeah,
we got losers flying flags all over the place.
Yeah, right here in this country.
You got the good old boys with the Confederate flag. They are straight losers. Yet they fly a loser flag like it's nothing. How about the New York Giants? No, I'm messing with.
Okay. No. Hey,
you can fly an Eagles flag. That's a winning flag right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you fly in this country, like I said, my man had other targets. And then, even the statues and shit. When did the losers get to build a statue? You know what I mean? Ain't no statues of no losers and shit in nobody else's country. Only in America. You know what I mean?
Culture, baby.
Oh man, this is not even cool, man. It's serious. It's like throw it off.
We know some guy who like to say respect the shooter. Well, in America, it's respect the loser.
So,
seriously, man.
And yeah, it's really crazy, man. Because you know what? I never, like I said, I never even thought about going down there and put something on another country's flag, right? But
I'm gonna tell you what it was. It was symbolic. It was a symbolic gesture.
It was. I guess in his heart, it was very symbolic. You shit. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, you know what? Y'all got blood on your hands, but you know who sold them the weapons? You know what I mean? Who saying, listen? It's two people and it's one piece of land. Okay, so we usually help them divide it north and south. Okay, but that country laid out a little different. I think it go more or less east and west and shit. You know what I mean? So, listen, give one half the country, the other half of the country. You take Jerusalem and Bethlehem and the other holy cities there, and you make them open cities and shit. You know what I mean? With United States, I mean not United States, United Nations guards inside that what you call 'em, to keep those cities safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
got
maintain and maintain the borderline for the next 20 years or whatever.
you.
That you those
We
people.
taken. You didn't took this story and made it international.
No, actually, you know what? I was thinking about a piece of land for the Americas and get that all straightened out. You should let me get this country straightened out.
Oh,
You know what I
please
mean?
don't give. No, we don't need no more land over there. Bad
No,
enough.
I'm talking about no, not America. I'm talking about right here. I
Oh,
need some
okay.
land and shit. You know what I mean? I need some
Oh,
land.
oh,
I'm tired of
oh.
this. I'm tired of this little garden I got. I want a big garden. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I got you. Well, you know what you need to do, right?
well,
You gotta
I
you gotta
asked
put
them
up a
and shit.
flag. Got to put up a flag. so, so speaking of flags, uh, you know how in all those countries, everybody likes to light up an American flag, just light it on fire.
Yeah, and this, you know,
So one man in America did this back in 1984, named Gregory Lee Johnson. He burned an American flag outside of the, I guess, the Republican National Convention that was being held in Dallas.
Well, did they beat the shit out of him?
They threw him in jail.
Oh, okay. How many years he got?
And he was convicted, but his case went all the way to the Supreme Court, and he ended up getting protected by the First Amendment.
Wait, hold it.
Because now, of course, I'm leaving out a main fact that this was a white man, but we'll get back to that.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you saying it's legal to burn an American flag, right? But
Yeah.
you can't put a little paint on. Oh, wait, hold it. Maybe he didn't buy the flag. If he had bought his own flag, he could do what he wanted to do.
That's part of it, and the other
Oh,
part,
okay.
he's not he didn't look like he was a colonizer. He threw him
Yeah. Well, and another thing they said, like what you call him, the scene, the cops, the way it really went down was he sprayed the flag, dropped the thing in the trash can, stopped, turned around, and came back to the scene. So the cops didn't have to go looking for him. He was right there, And I mean, he didn't run or nothing like that. He was, willing to be. He didn't struggle with the cops or nothing. He just, stood there and let them arrest him. So this man was a man of conviction. You know what I mean? And the mayor came out and said, "Oh, I think it was a hate crime." How the fuck was that a hate crime? He never said a word of shit, and they called it a hate crime at first. I mean, that's what the mayor called it before they knew that the man was arrested.
You didn't see the Jewish League people out there crying about that flag, though. You didn't see that part. You didn't see the lady crying. Oh my gosh, they put red paint on the flag. Oh my gosh. You didn't see that part.
Well, I didn't see that. I didn't pay that. Yeah, I mean, I might have saw it. It just went right over my head. I remember that when I was a kid, and they planted the flag on the moon, right? And I said to myself, wait a minute, hold up. We sitting there looking at TV, and I started to cry. You know what I'm saying? And my father was like, what the hell wrong with you? And I'm like, yo, man, my brother in Vietnam. You know what I mean? We getting our ass kicked and shit. You know what I mean? They beat the shit out of us because I say I want to vote or I want to go to school over there and shit. They beating the fucking shit out of us and shit. So I understand the Palestinian thing and shit. You know what I mean? That's what I was, that's the whole thing about it. I do understand it. How can you, everybody was like, yeah, this is a great state for mankind and shit, yeah, and all that. They planting this flag and I'm getting my ass kicked and shit, and I'm looking at the Palestinians and say, well, keep on fighting and shit. That's all I can say and shit, you know what I mean? And you don't got to get crazy. Remember, I think here was a peaceful thing. You know what I mean? Remember Martin say, yeah, no, we ain't going to pick up no weapons and shit. Bop, ding, bing, bop. You know what I mean? Wake up with 4 stitches in his head and shit. Ass been kicked and shit.
Remember, American culture teaches we win a war, we win land. You take what we leave behind. Here's this reservation.
A reservation?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I guess, it must be, it's kind of like it's true and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because uh, I lived in all black communities a lot in my lifetime, and it was like a reservation. Yeah, yeah, it could be called a reservation. They wasn't there, the cops wasn't there to protect us from anybody or one another. They were only there to keep us where we were at, you know what I mean? Yeah, they opened enough, liquor stores and stop and goes and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? You don't need to go nowhere. Just stay down here and get fucked up or do whatever you want to do and shit. As long as you do it down there, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I really understand with a Palestinian what they feeling. You know what I mean? Because my family has been treated in such a manner. You know what I mean? During protests. You know what I mean?
so do you take the time to light up and burn a flag of the people that oppressed you or made you feel bad?
No, you know what? I got a flag sitting in front of my door. I mean, in my window right now, American flag, right
Well,
in my window.
that flag is a warning flag. You're not fooling me. Any black man flying an American flag must, and I repeat, must be saying, "I'm willing to shoot you."
No, I ain't saying nothing. It's just a flag there. I ain't saying
I
nothing like
know.
that. It's just a flag. That's all. You know what I mean?
Well, I know it
No,
keeps you
no.
out. I know it keeps people away from your house. I'll tell you that much. Now, don't go overboard. Don't get one of them red hats. No, don't go overboard now.
Don't get a red hat.
Don't get the red hat now.
No. Actually, anyway, like I said, I fly the flag. I never thought about burning the American flag. I mean, that
Oh, no, I'm
flag is.
not talking about the American flag. I was talking about like the Confederate flag.
Oh, you know what? I never even thought about burning. I never thought about burning any flag. You know what I mean? Because listen, there's a lot of tribes out there, and all the tribes got their flags. You know what I
Yep.
mean? All the tribes got their flag. You know what I mean? We don't. We even had a flag for black people back in the day. I ain't seen it in a long time. I don't think they make them no more. You have to
You
make
talking
your
about
own.
them red, black, and green flags?
Yeah, the red, black, and green flag and shit. And
Yeah,
then it had
real rap.
uh
I haven't seen a lot of them lately. I said it's
yeah.
shocking. You
It's
know.
shocking because you know what? I think like I said, you got to make your own because you know you know what? There's a dude downtown that make a lot of flags and for everywhere. I think maybe I should go down there and see will he make me one. You know what I mean? And
Well,
I want
Malcolm,
a
you know
nice one.
what? Malcolm X Day coming up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure some merchant gonna be selling some red, black, and green flags.
Yeah. Well, and the most radical one was it was still red, black, and green, but it had America in it, and I was like, wow, that's they had the outline of America in the flag. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow. And it was red. It was painted red, black, and green. And I used to look at that flag when I was a young boy and said to myself, oh man, these boys trying to start some trouble here flying that. You know what I mean? Gonna be some trouble with it for sure. And sure enough, the Romans did show up. You know what I mean? Oh, the Popo. The Popo. The Romans did show up and shit. It was like, oh no, that's a little too big and shit. You know what I mean? It was huge and shit. It was a big flag, and I was like, man, they flying the flag and shit. What they doing over there? I was trying to tell them to take it down, and eventually they did take it down with a little protest. But like I said, there's always been protests, and I'm saying to myself, um, I'm another thing too is shit that really that struck me about that. You know what I mean? That struck me. It struck me was that don't nobody really seem to care about what's going on over there. And I really do care, but like I said, there's so much of stuff going on here. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me give you the scoop on American culture because that's where most of your news is coming from, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Brown people getting injured or in some type of travesty only gets press if non-brown people care.
Wow.
Now, they're Palestine is fighting against Israel, right? Israel has a high population of Jewish people. Jewish people have been linked to media control throughout America. You put all that together, how much press are you going to see about Palestine's struggle?
Not much, I guess. But you know, I thought the news here was supposed to be free and fair. You know what I mean? Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, I
Well,
made a mistake. Yeah,
we
I forget.
we do it with all colors on this platform, but we're going to try to stay away from the orange color as much as possible.
Oh no, I ain't messing with him. You know what I mean?
We're going to try to stay away from him as much as we can.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't think orange is the major witchcom of this. Moving
No.
that embassy there was a big mistake on anybody's part. You know what I'm saying? And it's a disputed territory. You know what I mean? You don't go planting your flag in the disputed territory. And you know, embassies are considered U.S. sovereign ground.
So that means we got to put a flag up, right?
Oh, we got to put a flag up, and that property becomes United States of America just by being the United States Embassy. That's a fact. You put somebody in your embassy, the most wanted man in the world in your embassy, nobody can get him out. That's what's going on with that boy over there, Richard Stodham, right? I mean, not
hey,
Richard
man.
Stodham. Yeah.
And I appreciate it. But so to wrap it up, you got any final thoughts on this flag mutilating gentleman?
Actually, I think we said it all. We covered it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I hope
I just want to say it's not illegal to destroy the American flag on American soil. So why is this man being in trouble for destroying some other country's flag on American soil, except for the fact that, when I think about it, it was not his property.
Right. So all you have to do is give him what it costs of the flag, and everything is all right. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know, give him the money. You know, here's the $50-$70 or whatever it costs and shit. All right, you know what I mean? I'm sorry I keep it going and shit. You know what I mean? That's all. Every time you do one of this, make them pay for it. That's all. And I'm good. You know, I'm gonna start burning me some flags now. You know what I mean?
that was our take on basically the First Amendment. Let's move to the Second Amendment. So this is about this story here. Girl wears gun in viral graduation photo. So a recent college graduate from Kent State University in Ohio is gaining attention online for graduation photos she posted on Twitter. Caitlin Bennett shared photos of herself wearing an AR-10 rifle strapped to her back and her graduation cap in hand. A picture of the gun and the words, "Come and take it," decorated on the graduation cap. Now that I graduated from Kent State, I can finally arm myself on campus, Bennett wrote in her post. I should have been able to do this as a student, especially since 4 unarmed students were shot and killed by the government on this campus. And Bennett is referring to the killing of 4 people on Kent State's campus in 1970. After days of unrest over Americans' invasion of Cambodia during the Vietnam War, student protesters clashed with the Ohio National Guardsmen. The Guardsmen opened fire, killing 4 students and wounding 9 others.
Wow. I was around when that happened, right? And
okay.
And I can tell you, the clashes that they say that happened didn't happen. I mean, the students they were peacefully protesting. And I can remember, it was a photo, I think it's still out there. The girl taking a flower and sticking it in the barrel of a guardsman. She picked the flower and, you know, she was a hippie looking chick and shit, and she stuck the what you call 'em, flower inside the barrel and walked back and shit. You know what I mean? And it wasn't really there was some agitators there, but they wasn't really uh hurting the guardsmen in any way. You know what I mean? They just stood their ground. And when the guardsmen came closer, some rocks were thrown, but not many. And they just let them have it, right? And these were kids that was in college because they could pay. They were in the college, and the people that couldn't pay, they were getting drafted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but she used her Second Amendment like moment on like wait a minute, you're gonna shoot you know the National Guard, like that's what those people who would have had guns would have been doing, right? Shooting against the National Guard.
They were shooting at them. You know what I mean? They were shooting at them. And you know what's so amazing is it's like what so if you're not a student at Kent State, you could carry a gun on if you could carry a gun on the land right there. And but if you are a student, you can't carry a gun. So when she graduated, she was no longer a student. She was a graduate, and she was allowed to carry this gun. You know what I mean? Now you know me and guns don't get along, right? You know what I mean? But I do believe everybody have a right to own their gun and use a gun to protect whatever they be trying to protect. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to protect something, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I believe in the law.
I come, yeah, the law's the law. That's the law of the land. And she didn't break the law of the land. She was able to carry that gun there. You know what I mean? And anybody else there that wasn't a graduate was allowed to carry a gun in that spot. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine? Let me see, 3,500 people in one area who were allowed to carry a gun at that point in time, at one time in the same area, and a little beef happens, and somebody whip out this shit and start firing, right? You know, you can have a mass massacre. Yeah, is that a real thing? A mass massacre?
A mass massacre.
Yeah, damn, I think that's a new word and shit, man. You know what I mean? You have a mass massacre shit, man. Everybody firing and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you this much of shit. She was within her rights to carry that gun, and that's the problem with within your rights and shit. You know what I'm saying? And if that would have been a person of color jumping up there, walking down there with their gun, with the same sign and shit, I guarantee they'd have put some lead in that ass. Excuse me.
I saw videos on YouTube, guys doing the same thing. You have a white guy, he walking around, he got the AR, whether it's 10 or 15, strapped on him behind his back, you know.
Yeah, and the cops stop
even in front of him. Cops say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know. And then the black guy, he has the AR-15 strapped behind his back, and they pull over. They tell him, get down on the ground, get the guns drawn." He laying there with his hands out on the ground. They still pointing that gun at him because.
That's what they do. See, that's what they do. See, American culture. See, this what American culture, like you just read the part of the earlier the Constitution. This is what American culture means. It don't mean you. You know what I mean? Don't mean me. It means them. See, and a lot of people, they get it twisted. Listen, they get it twisted for real. They get it twisted. They think that the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and all that applies to them. You know what I mean? Because they tell you that. You know what I mean? But if you know for a fact that that's a lie, that's not the truth. That's not really true. You know, it really is not. And people need to wake up on that because they think that they had the same rights as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And you had you do have the same rights as the Puerto Rican brother. You had the same right as the Chinese do. You have the same rights as the African do. You have the same right as the American Indian. But you don't have the same right as the colonizers. He don't have those rights.
No, let me break it down for you real quick. Black guns matter. Hey, believe in that. Listen, black guns matter, all right? Because if you and a group of your fellas, your friends, y'all got together and got y'all permits and all that good stuff, and walked around with your guns, there's nothing they can do except change the law. So I take you back to, this is your time still. You're an old head. By the way, we'll make the joke for ourselves. We the old Desus and Nero, okay? We look like what they look like in 20 years. So anyway, back in the 60s, there was a militant black nationalist group known as the Black Panthers.
Oh, I remember them well. Yeah.
Okay. So, in 1967, 30 members of the Black Panthers protested on the steps of the California State House armed with .357 Magnum, 12-gauge shotguns, 45 caliber pistols, and they announced the time has come for black people to arm themselves. Somebody got scared. A lot of politicians got scared, including the California governor, Ronald Reagan. So they ended up,
wow.
It didn't take them long, because the same year they took a bill and started on a path to having some of the strictest gun laws in America. So if you want, you got a problem with guns, all these liberals, colonized liberals or whoever, or at least people that got a problem with guns, you want to get rid of guns, get them in the black man's hands. not troublemakers, not the troublemakers of the crew. I'm talking about the working man. Put the gun in the working man's hand. Now, the working man must realize he's still a target. But
okay, that makes a lot of sense. There, they do. That will make them say, "We're gonna make some tough gun laws here. We ain't gonna allow this to happen no more." But you know what? I think there's more shooting in California than a little bit. Let me tell you something about this shooting thing and people shooting people and the gun laws and whatever. I'm not with some of the strange gun laws they got out there at all. I'm not with it. But you know what? I think that if anybody want to buy a gun, they should have a gun. You know what I mean? Anybody. I don't give a shit if you did 30 years in prison. If you want a gun, you can have a gun. Only thing I'm saying is this. You have to get insurance. You know what I mean? Really, you do. You have to get. Oh yeah, you got to get insurance. I mean, it's like you got to insure a car. You got to. If you want to carry a gun, you got to take a little test, right? They had to. Yep. Okay. Well, they give you a driver's test. You get a car. You got to get a. What you call them? When you get a gun, you want to buy a gun, you got to take a test. You want to carry a gun. So therefore, since you have to take a test, you should have to have insurance too. Just in case something go wrong with the gun, somebody could steal the gun. You drive down the street, you shoot yourself with the gun. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know a lot of people that have been shot and didn't have a gun. The cops said they had a gun. Dude had a cell phone. Dude didn't have no gun. You know what I mean? But a cell phone, and you gotta put all that into play, right? So the cities pay so much money when the cops shoot somebody, right? And it's like, why don't you just get rid of those cops and stop this bullshit? You know what I mean? Because the cops like to whip their guns out a little too often, and America like to whip their guns out too often. You know what I mean? The military whip their guns out too often. Everybody whip their guns out in America. You know what I mean? I think everybody should have a gun. You know what I mean? Even little kids, you give them little guns. You like the little kids like in the first grade or something.
Now you're talking crazy.
No, not really. Not really, because you know what? They targets too, right? You know what I mean? Ask them Sandy Hook kids and shit. You know what I mean? They targets. Everybody a target in America. You know what I mean? That's American culture. Everybody's a target. You know what I'm saying? It's people shooting all over the place and shit, you know? Po shoot, you know what I mean? Ordinary citizens shooting, crooks are shooting, killers are shooting, everybody shooting and shit, you know? I don't know,
But
you know, it's
I
like,
understand. I understand your. I understand what you're saying as far as everybody should have gun classes and stuff like that.
you know, I think that, okay, so if you old enough to vote, you should be able to have a gun. You should able to have a
Yeah.
gun, and you should be mandatory guns for everybody.
Now I'm with now my law is different. My law I'm more of a let's register every gun. Hold on a second.
You know, I thought every gun was registered.
Hello?
Yeah.
Track.
Um.
I need you to take over for a little bit. Off
Okay.
alleviator, see me. Alright.
Uh, all right. So anyway, these guns out here in the streets of America, uh, that he's alluded to, Mills alluded to, he's saying that the guns should be all registered. And the thing about a lot of people don't understand is, once the gun leaves the factory, it does supposed to be registered when it's sold. But apparently, a lot of guns aren't. Guns get missing. Uh, I think it was an incident in Chicago where a rail car of guns got missing, and nobody knows exactly how that happened. You know, it was nobody guarding the train or what. Somebody just walked up to a rail car and took all these guns, and all these guns hit the streets of Chicago and elsewhere. Um, it is a very, very, very serious issue with these guns going crazy. But people owning guns, if they own a gun with respect to other humankind, then I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with it. I'm good with all that, you know? And that's how they do. You know what I mean? That's exactly how I do. And we're gonna wrap that one up and move on to the next subject, which will be the royal wedding. Um, so Diana's son is marrying an actor, and Marcos, she's a nice looking girl too. She ain't a bad looking girl. She happens to be half black and half white, or something like that. Well, anyway, she's going to be a really famous woman this year because like she's going to marry the Queen of England grandson, Diana's son, and Charles' son, and it's it's just a big thing. You know what I mean? Especially for a half what you call person of color. You know, well, she is a person of color because in America, one drop that means black. So, no doubt about it. But it's a really big thing. She a fine looking girl too. Uh, I hope this thing work out. But the royal family is like really, really dysfunctional too. They talk about her family, but they didn't really get into what's up with the royal family. And the royal family needed new blood anyway. You know what I'm talking about when I say new blood, I mean blood from outside the race because they probably highly inbred, you know. I mean, it's sad to say, but it's true. You know, Charles and Diana was, I think, second cousins, at least second cousins, no further than the third cousin. So if they weren't first cousins, they were second cousins. I think they were actually first cousins because they had the same grandfather. So I believe they are. And When you had that in blood, blood going down and shit, you gotta sometimes put some new blood up in there. Doctors must have told him, yo, you're gonna have to marry somebody at least half black, if not all black, to try to straighten out the line. You know what I'm saying? And this kid, if they have a kid, it will be potentially be in line. It will be in line for to be the king or queen of England one day. You know, it's probably going to be like 6 or 7 down the line, but it still has that chance. And that make it all interesting to me. The rest of it is just whatever, because I cannot imagine them crowning. You know what I mean? A half-blooded, what you call them, especially with some black people blood in them. You know what I mean? That's gonna be really fucking tough for them. You know what I mean? It's gonna be really tough. But the English people seem to be all with it. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's more trouble going on in America about that than it is in England. They seem to just take it in stride and say, okay, that's who we want to marry. All right, this person will be sixth in line. Okay, we ain't worried about that. We ain't worried about none of that. But I always be thinking about stuff like this because it kind of bothers me the way that the English would even go for that. I don't know what is really going on behind the scenes there. You know what I mean? But I can remember back in the day when Charles had went to Brazil. He actually was with one of those at carnival time. And
Yo.
You back?
Yeah, man. Anytime a black man comes back from the police, you say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
As I was saying, I was just saying that how I felt about Marcus girl marrying the what you call him, Prince over there. But I
moved on to the Prince.
Yeah, I moved on from that. I moved on to him and that. What's your view on that?
It's America's, basically that's America's mother, right? My view is really like, why do we give a fuck so much about what goes on in England?
Well, you know
especially
what?
The royal family. There's other royal families.
Yeah, it is.
You hear what I'm saying? There's other royal families. I don't hear nothing about Saudi princes getting married to their second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th wife. I don't hear nothing about that.
Well, when you marry your sister, nobody really cares and shit. You know what I mean? It's just more shit going on. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, your cousin. I mean, when you care.
Yeah. Clean it up, man.
Well, listen, man. I was just saying that about the royal family. Like, I think, Diana and Charles had the same grandfather. You know what I mean? And I think Mountbatten was actually both of their grandfathers. So,
wow.
I mean, this is what they do and shit. You know what I mean? This is what they do and shit. They do shit like this over there. So I think they needed some real blood in it. That's what I was saying. That they needed some mixed blood up in there and shit. And half black, half white was best they could go. You know what I mean?
I mean, Harry, what he like, fifth in line or something like that?
Yeah, fifth or sixth in line, somewhere like that.
Yeah, it ain't like he's really that close.
Hey, stranger things that happen, dog. You know what I mean?
All right.
Stranger things that happen, especially with them. Like I said, they had a lot of drama in that family, man.
I don't know why we care so much. It just kind of throws my mind for a loop. The media goes, oh, well, Meghan, she looks so stunning, and oh, the Queen's not happy about this, or oh, the dad's not going to show up, and blah, 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 blah. Man, they get on my nerves with that stuff.
Well, that part is not what I've been focusing on. I'm focused on the fact that that the girl,
we're getting some color in the royal family.
Yeah, some color up in there, man. They needed it. And like I said, and they probably needed some real new blood. You know what I mean? To go come into their family. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they should have got
Yeah.
a real. Oh, never mind, never mind. I'm sorry.
Well,
She's
they will.
real.
She will. She will. And you know, and like I said, it's like okay, they had to get some new blood in there, and they had to get some a little chocolate in there and shit. You know what I mean? To straighten out the rural what you call 'em, how that shit gonna go one of these days and shit. Cause it it doesn't it might not necessarily mean that their child might become queen, but their child might have a child that might become queen or king. So it's gonna be some mixture in there. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they're gonna be able to crown uh somebody with a little with a little color. You know the what drop law is. It applies in America, so I don't know if it applies in England or not, but I'm quite sure it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and during
This is
carnival time, years ago, I remember seeing Charles at carnival with
that's
this
Prince Charles.
yeah, Prince Charles, yeah. With this chick, right? You know what I mean? And it was like, oh shit. And he like it like disappeared or something. You know what I mean? Something happened. Anyway, so I guess he got it from his father. He liked a little chocolate and shit, you know what I mean? And he got him some and shit. And he got a piece of fine chocolate too and shit, you know what I mean?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
But you know, I was thinking this isn't part of America's culture. America has
No.
produced princesses for these other countries in the past.
Yeah, but
I
see,
could think back to like Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray shaking her ass in the Players Club movie. She ended up becoming some princess or queen somewhere, right? What, Turks and Caicos?
oh really?
Yeah,
Turkey Caicos?
yeah. She married
Woo!
married over there, so she became royalty. You
Okay.
know, so also was Grace Kelly.
Yeah,
Didn't
Grace
she
Kelly,
marry
yeah.
somebody in royalty?
Yeah, yeah. She
I think
married
that's
Monaco and shit. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
over there.
Prince Monaco or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, her son is running the country over there now. You know what I mean?
Wow,
But
interesting.
interesting. But you know what was really interesting? Wow, that I was surprised. See, when the ninjas when they came down on the Witchcom, right? The father for taking the money for stage photos or some shit. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up, man. All he did was the American culture thing is to make money. Okay, he made some money off of that and shit. That's his daughter and shit. I wonder did they give him a dowry? You know what I mean? He should ask for a dowry. hmm Y'all ain't gonna pay me for marrying my daughter and shit. You can't marry her. You know what I'm saying? Oh hell no, shit.
Oh, come on now.
No, hold on, man. I want a dowry, man. If it was one of my daughters, somebody had to give me some money. You know what I mean? Now he didn't get there. Nobody gave him no money, so he said, "I'm gonna go out there and make me some money off of this shit. Fuck that."
Oh, or
And,
like the dad on and Coming to America. Baby,
yeah,
when I tell you he got his own money, I mean he got his own money.
money. You know what I mean? Yeah, his grandmother's on the dollar over there and shit. His grandfather on the dollar and shit, man. Oh no, I mean, the British pound. They faces on their money and shit. You know what I mean? Fuck that. You gonna give me some money? Shit, fuck that. Then he had to go out there and hustle and shit. Then he had a heart attack on the hustle. You know what I mean? When he got caught, he was like, "Oh no, they caught me and shit. Oh damn, what am I going to do now? I gotta get a heart operation. I won't be there." You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. So shit, my man, he had the right to make some money. I don't care what they say. You gotta pay me. No, man, I thought that was tradition over there. If you want to marry somebody's daughter over there and shit, and the royal on the royal thing, you gotta pay up. You supposed to give a couple dollars and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, shit. And the man just tried to make some money. He had a
You
little heart
don't
attack.
do nothing though, right? They don't do nothing. They just sit around all day. That royal family.
No,
They just sit
no,
around and make babies. They don't do any.
no,
They don't have
no.
no like. Don't they? Don't the Parliament do all the work?
Yeah, they don't. Oh, you mean like rule and shit? No, 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 no. They don't rule shit no more. They don't do
No,
that no more.
they look like they just for show.
Like they are. They are. That's what they are. They're for sure. That's And one time. the royal family owned all of England and everything that was in England. If you was on the land in England, you was owned by the royal family, basically. You know what I mean? And wow, they owned half of America. They was called the what you call 'em, the empire where the sun never set. You know what I'm saying? And they were big time drug dealers back in the day too, right? You know what I'm saying? And
I've seen stories about the opioid crisis
in
in
China,
China. Yeah.
yeah, well, they was behind that. They actually forced China to buy that much of some dope and shit from them. You know what I mean? And and they had a little war about that, and they won it. And then they was like, "Oh, we took a little bit more of y'all motherfucking land now and shit. What y'all gonna do now?" You know what I mean? So yeah, they some thugs and shit. They thugs and shit. They gangsters. The royal family gangsters. You better watch. You better believe that shit. That ain't no joke now. So people think, they all proper, prim and proper and shit. Oh, they ain't. You got some shit with them. You know what I mean? Oh shit. And they had some kings that did some wild shit, and some queens that did some wild shit. They did some wild shit back in the day now, and they've been just calm just the last 200-300 years. No, about 200 years they've been calm. But anyway, they started with the Parliament thing and let that go and shit and whatever. But they're some wild ass people, and like I said, they full of drama too. You know what I'm saying? That shit with Charles and his wife and all that shit. So Megan ain't going into a squeaky clean uh family.
Well,
So
no, I
and
know
people throw
Harry. He
shade
had
on her
issues.
family.
I know he had issues. I know he showed up to some party with like a Hitler costume or something like that.
Some dumb shit.
Something
Yeah.
dumb. Yeah, it's like
Some dumb shit like that.
yeah,
You know
and
what I
they
mean? Yeah.
all everybody go through their phase.
Yeah, they got their issues over there too and shit. But like I said, I really like this girl. I like the way she look, I like the way she talk, I like the way she walk. So she weasels her ass in a good family and shit. You know what I mean? For as the money thing is concerned, because I'm talking about the money again. Back to the money, American culture, baby. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So, and the dad trying to get paid. The mom ain't said much and shit, but she the only one over there. What's up with her not inviting nobody but her mom and her pops? You know what I mean? What's up with that? Something's up with that, man. You know?
I
So,
don't know, but you know how it goes sometimes. Sometimes
yeah.
love can be a like a brainwashing. So love can be brainwashing sometimes, where
Yeah, it is. You know what I
you
mean?
start like neglecting family members for love. Some people neglect their own health for love. Just it's in your brain to not want to mess something up.
Yeah, well,
And she was already married before.
oh, I didn't
And
know that.
yeah, so she's
Yeah.
a divorcee as well. So she breaking a whole lot of things that the queen, they like, wait a minute, she was
Yeah,
already married before, and she half black. Like, they're looking at Harry like, what did we do to you, Harry? Why you so pissed off at us, man?
yeah, I thought they were supposed to be virgins who they supposed to marry and shit. I thought they were supposed to, they supposed to marry
Yeah,
a virgin and shit. You know what I mean? I don't know what's up
goodness.
with that. You know what I mean? But
I'm
I wouldn't
sorry. If
want
I'm in a royal family, the first time you see my wife, she coming out hopping on one foot, going whoo, 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 whoo. Not doing it.
ah, oh
You be like,
man.
babe, what you want to eat tonight? She say, whatever you like. I
Look,
go, okay.
eh, look.
All right.
Okay, in that case,
I didn't use coming to America like 3 times. That's enough. But go
yeah.
ahead.
But if I had a choice of a wife, right? This is all fantasy talk, right? So I think that I would want me an alien wife, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been watching too much of Star Trek or something and shit. But
Alien wife.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. A Klingon woman. You know what I mean?
Damn.
I don't need her to do but one thing, okay? That's it, one thing. You know what I mean? I don't need to cook, clean, wash, nothing for me and shit, you know what I mean? I just need it for one thing, okay? So it had to be a Klingon woman, you know what I mean? Yeah, damn right, you shit, you know? Yeah, show up with a black eye and say, "Hey, man, it was all right." You know what I mean? It was all right. He'd be like, "Yo, man, no, 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 I'm telling you, shit, it's good and shit." You know, my man saying shit, Bill Withers and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you only knew what she was doing to me, brother, you know what I mean? Yeah, you wish you was me and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Megan took him and did the thing to him and shit. And the boy did his thing to her and shit. And then now they're getting married and shit. You know, it's good. It's all good and shit. You know what I mean? But like I said, you know, she ain't a Klingon, so I don't think I like her and shit. You know, she be alright for a little bit.
But now she's gonna be this weekend. She's gonna become part of that family.
I never saw this coming, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we had a black president in America, so I mean,
was he black?
he was black. I didn't call him African American. I called him black.
Oh, okay, all right. You know, I'm not sure. But anyway, he was half white too, right?
Yeah, he was half white.
Okay.
And half African.
Half African and half white, and then this one is half African American and half white. Okay.
And not even West African, where the slaves came from. He was on the east side. They didn't get touched by that.
Okay. See?
I'm just distinguishing him away from, you know, the Americans that were brought over, well, the family members, the immigrants. And the immigrant slave trade. The immigrant slave trade. Trust me, it's in the Texas textbook somewhere.
Yeah, the volunteers and shit.
It was called the immigrant slave movement. No, not slave ain't even in the word, right?
No.
Migrant African workers. There it is. Yeah.
Ooh, well, if you win, and listen, if you win, you can write the book, okay? The winners get to write the history. That's what people don't understand. So they'll never get the point of view of the losers. Like, can you imagine a movie just showing the eyes of the American Indians, the Africans? They showed these movies. We seen some of them, but they were like mild to me and shit. They didn't really put it out there like it would put it out there like it put it out there. But I did see one movie called Mandingo. And
wait a minute.
What?
That's a loaded topic.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. All right, well, I'll back off that.
No, I'm just saying we're getting low on the time.
Okay.
So, what's your final thoughts on Meghan and Harry?
Y'all gonna need a lot of luck. That's it. They're gonna need a lot of luck, man. Seriously. Trust me. The bullshit ain't even get started yet. You know, I hope they really do love each other. And that's it.
Yeah, and I hope that the father's genes come out strong in the kid. I just want to see some curly hair. It can be red too, but as long as it nap up like mine, everything's fine.
They ain't gonna let that kid have a nappy head in his body. You get the fuck out of here. That ain't gonna happen.
As long as he's gonna be 25% black. As long as that 25% is naps, I'm happy.
Not gonna happen. They're gonna deep dye that motherfucker, give him the Michael Jackson treatment. You know what I'm saying? As soon as
he coming out with a perm and day one.
Motherfucker came out here, perm and shit, all that shit. Little how they get the skin, bleach the skin or something shit. You know, that's all gonna happen, man. Ain't no, you know, that's not a doubt in my mind. That's gonna go down.
So I say, and again, America, one of our biggest imports are princesses. So
cool.
Man, come over here. So Harry had his own Coming to America movie. I'm sorry, that's the fourth reference. He came over here, got his queen, and we export princesses.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
Unexpected princesses.
yeah, man. So that concludes our show. I'd like to thank everybody for listening in, tuning in. As always, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all in parentheses. Yeah, I was like waiting for you to laugh. Like that's some high level humor there.
Well, you know what? I got some high level humor too and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say peace out, live life, and everybody be great. Be great at what you do.
So we also have our own YouTube channels. We'll have some. We work on getting some content up there for you to enjoy. And as always, if you would like to support Mills Lane, is it PayPal me/Mills Lane or PayPal me/Trap Gardner. Also entertain on Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff. And thanks a lot to Ruckus and the corporation for this opportunity.
I'll say good night, y'all.
All right, later, y'all.